Hoosick Falls. They live in.
Hold on, I think we have a member. That
Peter,
Hello, all.
happy holidays.
Happy holidays to all of you. Good to see you.
Holidays.
Pete, did you hear the news about Bill Garrison?
No.
He passed away yesterday.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Has he been sick?
I don't think so. I heard he had severe COPD though.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
all right,
He had to
it's
be- gotta be
Hoosick Valley.
75.
I'm sorry. What was that?
Oh.
Oh, I
Hoosick
was just
was-
saying it was Hoosick Valley. Sorry, Peter, I talked over.
Okay.
That's sad to hear. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing.
Mhm.
Pete,
Huh.
you could reach out to Hoosick Falls because, you know, a lot
We
of
did.
nobody's come, they're not coming into town on any kind of
Yeah,
special
they are.
weekend.
They come into Langdon, they come into Wildwood. Yeah, so if
Get
it
to do
comes
a
to
trip.
pass, right now it's on hold, so we're hoping it doesn't come to fruition, but if it does, we'll work with them to get them at Wildwood or Langdon.
Let's see. I'm texting Belinda. Do we
What
have
do
to
you
do the
guys
Pledge
heard
of
on the
Allegiance?
storm? Oh. Keep talking.
Pete,
What's that?
for this business meeting, do we have to do the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yeah, we probably should. Um, Let me see.
Hang on a minute, guys. We'll be right back.
Good, how are you?
All right, sorry about that. We had a kid, I heard the CTE bus, kids, do you guys have problems with the new CTE and kids missing the bus every single day?
Every day.
Yeah, so I think we all need to come together with CTE, and before they release the buses, they should need to start checking that building because it's a 5-day-a-week issue. I mean, I have the kids wait to, I'm not turning the bus. They were just gonna turn the bus around. I'm not turning the bus around. I'll have the 11 o'clock bus bring him back.
That's what we've done. Made them wait and then they can come back on the other bus that drops off.
But it's the same thing in the afternoon. In the afternoon, I make them call their parents. I can't keep going back. All right, I'm not sure if Belinda is joining. I've texted her. I'll give her one more minute.
What have you guys heard about this storm? Rain or mess?
I heard rain.
Rain, yeah.
I trust you more than I trust the TV weather people. So. You really have to know the truth.
Yeah.
All right, well, if she's not answering, so I'm gonna call the meeting to order. So do I have to get a second on calling it to order, Pete? Okay, so we'll call the order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
flag there.
I
Allegiance.
pledge allegiance to the
Allegiance
flag
Flag
of the
United
United States of America and to the
and to the
republic
Republic
for which it
which
stands,
stands
one nation,
nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with liberty,
liberty and
justice
justice
for all.
for all. Thank you.
All right, so we'll start with the secretary's report. Hold on, please. So we'll start with the secretary's report for the approval of the minutes of October and November. Amy? You're on mute, I believe.
I know she had an issue with her volume the other day.
Yeah, all right. So Amy typed up the minutes for April and let me just bring them up real quick, or October and November. Give me 1 second. So I believe we're still working on the minutes for the meeting last week, but we have our October minutes where the meeting. So the October meeting was Matthew's bus, and it was held at Bethlehem, and she typed up that from minutes from their presentation, and then we also have our November minutes with New York bus sales, and so all of us on the board have received those, and we could send those minutes out to the entire population, but I wanted to get an approval of those minutes.
So moved.
Pete, do you want me to send those to you so you can look at them quick?
No,
No, Peter Manila.
oh.
I'm good. I can't
Okay.
vote anyway.
Okay. So I wanted to get an approval on those minutes. Do I have a motion?
So
Or a
moved.
motion? Okay. Second, Pete. Okay. All right. So now we'll go through the treasurer's report.
All right, let's see. Currently in our checking.
Right. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to share the screen. I'm going to bring up the report. Let me bring up the report.
Okay.
And I'll share my screen so they can see what you're talking about.
All right.
Jerry, I just made you a co-host so you can do that.
Okay. Just bear with me 1 second. I got to open it first because I have two computer systems going. Okay, so how do I do this, Belinda or Claudine?
Do you have a prompt that says share screen?
Hmm.
Be a green one in the middle, bottom middle.
Hold on, it just got oh, there we go. All right, I see it now. All right, can you guys see that now?
Yep.
You're not able to see the budget?
I can see it.
Okay,
I can see
There.
it.
okay, so go ahead, Bry.
All right, so currently, if you, I don't know if you want to scroll over a little bit, Jared, column R there on the right, just so they can see it, but checking, we have $20,277.45, and savings we're showing $5,402.38. Those balances are as of the 13th of this month. If you scroll over to column E, Jared, let's see. Our actual income so far this year has been $3,490. That's all from dues. We're getting a couple trickle in maybe each week. They definitely have slowed down, but we're hoping to get more. The column G is sponsorships we've received has been $6,140 for a total of $9,630 so far. Our projected budget is $12,000, and our projected expenses is $12,000. So that's obviously a wash. We do have one open month for sponsorship. That is the month of May, and I know Pete Tunney's working on getting Bus Patrol potentially to sponsor that meeting. So hopefully they do that. And then anything we go over for our budget, if we have any extra money, we're looking to use that money for professional development, sponsorships for 19A or SPDI, et cetera. So that's where we're at.
I'm just texting. Belinda is texting me. I motion to approve the budget. Do we have a second?
Second.
Pete Tunney seconds the motion. Claudine approved. So any nays? Hold on, I gotta fix my screen. Did anybody? Because I'm sharing my screen. Hold on a minute. Okay, did anybody raise their hand for a nay? Okay, budget approved. Okay, so we changed our legislative. If Karim, if you could give a quick update on the legislative update matters.
All right. Well, good morning, everybody. The Legislative Committee met on 12/9/2022. Had several items on the agenda. One that was added at the last minute, there were some bills sent over for NIAP to weigh in on. It was 2259 and 4798. I believe that these are in both chambers, the bill and its companion. The 2259 dealt with hands-free devices for drivers, basically amending the law to make the use of hands-free devices illegal, which I believe right now it's technically not. And most districts have policies already preventing hands-free devices from being used on a bus. The Legislative Committee hands down supported that. The second bill was 4798, which deals with out-of-district students being dropped off in an in-district daycare. Technically, the way the law reads now, you can only really drop them off at their home. You can't really drop them off at daycares, but many districts do. So basically, the intent of the law is to clarify that section. The Legislative Committee had some questions about that, so that's been flagged for further review. There was a report of the meeting that NIAP had with the governor's office on 10/25. They talked about several issues, expense-based transportation aid, full funding for EVs and charging, the amortization schedule going back to 5 years from 12, school bus driver shortage, tax credit, retirement waiver, and allowing school bus monitors as an option for districts and it be aidable.
So can I just chime in on this? So when I was talking with John Spatch, the committee chair, so many of you, if you're like me, have hired, my 19A is a retired police officer. With that waiver, he knew what he was coming into. So I'm just going to show you this, hopefully I'm just going to point my finger right here and see how that says, this is a NIAP document that says June 30th, 2024. That came from NIAP. So we were under the assumption that we had till June 30th, 2024. The actual legislation is only, and John sent me the link, is to 2023. So I've gone back to John and I'm being like, well, this particular person is now going to be in trouble and we're going to be in trouble. So this is something that we really need to focus on, stressing the importance of getting this extended for 60 months. Otherwise, come the end of this school year, I could be losing my 19A trainer. because he is not gonna, he can't make over 35,000 or he will lose money because his pension after 30 years as an Albany police officer is more than what he got kind of makes with me. So this is really, really important to Gilderland. So I've kind of stressed that with John, so if you guys were under the impression that that was 2024, it is not, it is 2023.
I would like to see that extended to, we have somebody that would be a dispatcher, but because of the amount of money he can make, being a retired fireman, he's out, you know, and I would love to have him here. He would be fantastic at the job. So we're kind of in the same boat, but he hasn't taken, he won't bite yet.
So what John Spatch and Karim's team are working on that committee, they're looking to extend that waiver for 60 months, which will give us 5 years. So let's keep our fingers crossed so we keep our good, talented people employed. Sorry, Karim, I just wanted to point that out.
Oh, no problem, no problem. The second review was on the meeting with the DMV on 12/8/2022. Some of the takeaways was that the DMV was relatively open to a lot of the items that NIAP had to bring to them. Third-party testing is a success in the state. On strobe lights, the DMV has asked for NIAP to submit a formal request. So NIAP's in the process of doing that. They did discuss the underhood waiver. It's not looking like that New York State DMV is going to adopt that. There's some IT challenges to allow that waiver to happen, and it doesn't look promising. Another issue was about sharing drivers and the 19A requirements with sharing paperwork. There was some discussions on that. CDL remote permit testing. That has to be allowed by, it's a federal regulation that governs that. So the feds would have to address that particular issue. Let's see. That should,
EVs on a road test, I see.
yeah, that was a brief conversation. I actually had, during the third party process, we did have some conversations directly with the DMV that I shared. And I was just saying that I was going to be nice to them and not take an EV down to the road test. But the way that would technically work is that we could do it now. It'll just be that you would get points for those items that doesn't exist on that bus. So you don't check the all, you would automatically be given credit for it. That's how it would work under the current rules.
Good to know.
And there was discussions on the subcommittees for electric bus and civil service portability. Civil service portability subcommittee, they were looking at trying to schedule a meeting with civil service to have more discussions. And the EV subcommittee, they met. I was on that subcommittee, but I had a conflict that day of the meeting. But basically, the work of that subcommittee is being rolled into the NYSERDA focus group, which me and Dave are both members of. And that concludes my legislative report.
Great, thank you. Appreciate the update. Any comments or questions from the meeting? Okay, so I'm going to move on to, I'll talk for, Belinda just texted me. She said she had to run, but I'll talk about Operation Safe Stop. Operation Safe Stop is scheduled for April 27th. I have a verbal commitment from Pete Rodriguez that First Light Safety Products is going to be sponsoring that meeting for us.
And we have the firehouse, Shaker Road Firehouse.
Yep, it's gonna, so that's where it's going. We're gonna have it at the Shaker Road Firehouse. We're committed. We have commitment from the firehouse for all the rest of our meetings except for the year-end celebration. The only option, the only thing we got to do is for the March meeting, Pete, I think, we talked about maybe bringing in Panera because we can't have food that day, or we'll figure out the food situation as we get closer, but, so for Operation Safe Stop, it's going to be at the, firehouse. Belinda will be helping me with, getting out to our public officials, so we can have some, legislators there and hopefully the police department and, be able to, hopefully get some media coverage on it as well. So one of the things that I have not had a chance to do, because I unfortunately had to drive the day of the committee meetings, was let that committee know that we are going to be planning something here in the Capital District. But I will, I'll make sure that they know about that prior to the meeting at the state level. So we are, we're planning just like we did last year. We're gonna move forward with having legislation there, the hopefully police presence, and hopefully media, and be able to have a good positive Operation Safe Stop recognition meeting here in the Capital District. Any questions? Okay, that concludes that. Judy's not on, but we are moving ahead with, I'll talk about that for her. We're moving ahead with the poster contest. Judy is going to chair. And if you have not already received, let me know. I handed them out at the meeting and I can send them electronically if you want to forward them. But the poster contest rules and regulations have been shared, or, are out there for the submissions, what it takes to submit them. I have already sent that out to all of my building principals to hopefully share with their art teachers and see if we could get our students involved. I know South Colony last year, Pete, you guys won a ton of awards. 2 years ago, I had 2 students win it, but so if you jump back to the budget, I'll bring it up here. Let me share my screen again. All right. So if you go over here, I have other columns on here. So for awards for the poster contest, I put in here, I granted that, like we have done previously, $1,000 on the poster contest. And that line reads, matches up to our awards line here. So we have $2,700 in our budget for awards, and the awards will go towards, okay, the $1,000 for the poster contest, 1 SBDI and 1 19A examiner. But hopefully if we go over budget this year, we'd be able to increase either one of these 2 categories, SBDI or 19A, and be able to make 2 awards there. So that's where we're focused on for the poster contest. Now I'll jump into the next. Is there a comment? Sorry. Okay, so I'll jump into the next category, which is awards. We do not have a chairperson for our awards committee, and the chapter could really use another person to help with that. I don't know, Karim, if anybody in your district would be willing, if you guys would be willing, or if anybody would be willing to, step up. It's just something that historically Al Karam did as the chairperson for the awards committee. But at this point, we don't even have a committee. So I'm looking for a district or a person to step up and head that up. So just something to think about if you have time to handle that committee.
Oh, let me check with my staff. I have someone that may be really good for that. So let me check with them.
Okay. Is it Ellen by any chance? That's where I was hitting.
I have 3 wonderful assistant directors, so any one of them can do it. So
Okay.
I'll just see which one can do, which one
Okay.
be on time available.
Okay. So then moving on to item E, the NIAP report. Pretty much Karim has really, on his legislative report, handled what we talked about mostly at the board of directors meeting. At our board of directors meeting that day, it goes over all of the committees. So a few things going on at the state level. I'll just quickly rattle these off to you guys. Into the membership, there was a motion for the new application. Lapsed members, we're going back to review the lists and look at anybody and see if they want to rejoin again. And Dave's going to reach out to some new members. Logos, they're looking at graphic design to enhance and create a new logo for NIAP. So they're also looking at doing some conference cost or tying the renewal and the summer conference come in at the same time. So if they're looking at actually kind of trying to put the renewal, if you're going to sign up for the conference, put the renewal with it at the same time. So that's something they're looking at there. Scholarship added a 4th award for trade show school. So now if you have an individual, so if you saw the awards the awards that came out, I don't know if you sent it out to your schools yet. I've already done that, but and I focused on now, it doesn't have to be just college. We also have trade school. So they added a $4,000 scholarship award for a person attending a trade school.
Good idea.
Okay, new awards this year is bus driver. My notes got a little sketchy here because of the terminology, but they have there's bus driver of the year, attendant of the year, and now they're adding attendant monitor team of the year. I'm sorry, driver, attendant / monitor team of the year. Okay, because there was a big call on the wording of attendant, so it's attendant / monitor. So they're putting an award out for the team now. Public safety talked a little bit about, reminding everybody about the idling policy. Fines are up to $20,000 and some districts have been fined in New York City already. So just a reminder about that. Operation Safe Stop, they're looking at redoing their new logo. We already talked about legislative, professional development, the winter workshop. They're going to be doing the night at the races again if you've signed up for the dinner, which is a great fundraising opportunity. The certification program, I'm enrolled in it right now. Hopefully they're going to get some more people enrolled for the exams in the summer. They will be doing boot camps again in the spring. They're also working on 2 regional workshops. You probably already got the information on one, speaking school bus. I think that one's out in Rochester. They're doing a leadership certification or leadership cert webinar. They're doing a 4th hour PDS, 19A development curriculum, and safety rodeo subcommittee, which is for that survey that came out. So those were the updates for basically all the committees at our board meeting this past last weekend or 2 weekends ago. Any questions on any of that? I've kind of rattled through it fast.
Jerry, I came in at the tail end of one of the other meetings and they were talking about the rodeo.
Mm-hmm.
So I know they were going to bring it up with the board. So what's going on with the rodeo right now?
Just right now, they're putting together a subcommittee to start working on that. So the professional development is working on creating a subcommittee within their committee to begin focusing on what they're planning out a rodeo.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So old business, I do not have any to bring up. Does anybody else? New business? Okay, well then we covered it all. Do we have, I will motion to adjourn. Do I have a second? Brian, and just let me say, guys, thank you all. And I hope you all have a wonderful, safe and happy holiday, regardless of what you celebrate. I hope it is joyous and you are all find peace this next week while school is out, because I'm praying for that nice week.
Enjoy, everybody. Good luck with
Be
those of
safe,
you that have
everyone.
school
Be
tomorrow.
safe, everyone.
Okay, bye guys.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.